Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you are new around here, which you most probably are, I am Mayur Kulgani, and in this video we're gonna talk about layer mask in Photoshop. It's very easy. Believe me, don't stress yourself. It's very easy. Let's just jump right into it. So before understanding layer mask, we have to understand what is mask. So I'm gonna keep it as simple as it for you guys. So understand, just imagine mask as a paint on the wall. Why do you paint the wall? So that you can hide the cement that's on the wall, right? It's the same thing with the mask. You mask a layer so that you can hide an image or a part of an image. That's why masks are used. Layer mask is used. So there are two types of mask. Number one, clipping mask and layer mask. So clipping mask, we're gonna keep that for some other video, not today. We're gonna talk about layer mask, especially layer mask in this video, because that's what we use extensively in today's day and age. So what is layer mask? So layer mask is something that you apply to an image so that you can control its transparency. And wait, you are like, wait, don't we have layer opacity for that? Yes, we do. But with layer opacity, you can control the opacity of the entire image. But with layer mask, you can control the opacity of a certain part of an image. Okay, let's just give me an example. There is an image. Just imagine an image, and if you what if your client wants that right side of the image should be 100% opacity and the left side image should be at 50% opacity. What would you do? You cannot decrease the opacity of the layer, right? That's when you apply mask to a layer and decrease the opacity of the left side of that image. Okay, that's where masks come in very handy. Okay, so what does mask do? Well, when you add a mask to a layer, it applies a grayscale to an entire image. It will not do any, believe me, it will not do any change to your image. Your image will have no changes until you have a selection in your image. But if your image is you just opened an image, you applied a mask, it will apply a grayscale on the image which will not be visible for you. There are ways to see it, okay, but directly you cannot see the grayscale on the image. There will be no change on your image. Okay, so before we jump into Photoshop and I start telling you what to do with mask and how to deal with it, just understand this. Mask understand only three colors. There is black, there is white, and there is gray. Okay, what those colors do, I will tell you. Okay, so now that you have a brief idea about what is mask, what is layer mask, and what are types of mask, let's just jump right into Photoshop and I'm going to tell you what you can do with that. Okay, in case you are confused still now, it's okay. I will clear all your doubts in Photoshop. Okay, let's just jump right into Photoshop. So in case you are new to the Photoshop interface, well, this is where your photos will be displayed for you. On your right side, this panel right here, where all your tools will be. These are, and on the file, all these, a file, edit, menu, layer, type, select, all these are your menu options, and below that are all the settings that changes when you change your tool. Like say I'm using the crop tool, the settings are changed. When I use an marquee tool, the settings are changed. When I use a move tool, the settings are changed. So these are all your settings. So, and on your left side, these are all your adjustments which you most probably will not be using, but it's there. It's why I have kept it there, just basically. And below that are your layers, like how many layers, like the background layer, and the same thing, background layer and new layer. Like I just copied the layer, the same layer I have copied, and beside that are your channels for that layer, your RGB channels, the red, green, and blue channels. Okay, and below that, on your right side, entirely below, is where your few of the settings are present. Like say there is a masking, there are adjustment layer, there are all your adjustment layers. This is where you can create a group if you have multiple layers, and this is where you can click and create a new layer. And this, obviously, this is where you delete a layer, delete the layers. Okay, so this is basically Photoshop. Like this is how a Photoshop will look when you open it. So what I want to do to this image is that, as you can see, that there are roses and there is like this pink background. I don't want that. I want the entire image to be black and white, just except those flowers. You see these flowers here, these white, these pink flowers. I just want those to be in color and the entire background to be black and white. Like the entire image should be black and white, just the flowers should be colorful. Okay, So what I'm gonna do here, as you can see, this is my layer. What I'm gonna do here is you can come here with this camera kind of icon. You see here on your down right, add layer mask. So you're gonna hit that. You see this black white color thing that's popping out, that is mask. That icon means a mask has been created. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I want this entire image to be black and white. So I'm gonna go to my layer, I'm gonna go to adjustment, new adjustment layer, and I'm gonna convert it to black and white. It will ask me that I'm sure I want to create a new layer, and I can name it whatever I want. I want to name it black and white. I'm gonna hit OK, and it will, as you can see in the layers panel here, it has created a new layer for me, black and white layer. So okay, so here's a tip for you guys. When you're working in Photoshop and you are doing changes to an image, make sure you do all of those changes on a new layer. Okay, let's just say you're going to adjust the brightness and contrast. You're going to turn your image in black and white. You're going to add a solid color. Do it on a new layer so that you can, if you screw up further, you can come back later and do the changes to it. Or you're gonna finish the entire work, you give it to your client, and your client says, wait, I don't need that solid color, just you added a solid background color like red, I don't need that background color. You can delete that background color when you come back, when you're working with layers. Okay, so make sure whenever you are making a change to an image, make sure not all the time, but like most of the time, like 90% of the time, make sure you create a new layer and change it. Okay, so here on your menu bar, here image, there is layer. So what is the difference between image and layer? Most of it are same, as you can see. So but the major difference is when you do an adjustment with this image thing, it will apply the settings directly to the image. Let's just say I want the brightness and contrast. I'm gonna click it, the sliders will come. I'm going to adjust the brightness and contrast of the image, and I'm going to hit OK. As you can see, it did not create a new layer here. But if I go to my new layer menu here, I'm going to go to new adjustment layer. I'm going to create a brightness and contrast. See, it's asking me to create a new layer. So now I can, if I change and all of that stuff, brightness or contrast, whatever changes I do, it will be on the layer. So if I don't want this, I can just delete this. You can see that's gone. The brightness and contrast is gone. Okay, so there's a benefit of working with layers. So make sure whenever you are doing a changes to an image, make sure you do it to as a new layer. Okay, so that's there. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, as you can see, when I made a layer like the black and white layer, it's already did come up with a mask by itself. But what if yours didn't? Let's just say I'm gonna delete this mask here. I'm gonna delete it. So what if it didn't come with a mask, which it most probably will, but still just select the black and white layer, go to your layer here, you're gonna go to layer mask, reveal all. You see this layer mask, reveal all, just hit that, it will create a mask for you. Or I'm gonna selecting the layer 1, or there is a shortcut. You're gonna come here, you see this camera icon here, if you click that icon also, you can create a mask. Okay, but I'm going to delete this because I don't need that. Okay, I'm on my black and white. Now, as I told you before, layer mask understands only 3 colors: white, black and gray. Okay, I'm going to take my brush tool now so that I can paint the white color or the black color. I'm going to just increase the size. Now, if I paint, see, as you can see, my foreground color here in the down here is white and the background color is black. Okay, foreground is white, background is black. I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna start painting here. Do you see any changes here happening? No, right? So let's just, my foreground color is white. So if I paint white on my image, it's doing nothing. It's doing nothing because anything. So what does white do is that it will not show the image that's below that masked layer. And what does black do is that it will show the image that's below the layer, right? Okay, so let's just take it as is. White is for not showing, black is for showing the layer that's below the mask layer which you have applied mask to. Okay, so I'm gonna take my black now, just hit X so that your foreground and background color will change. That's a keyboard shortcut. And now I'm gonna paint, see, you see this? I'm gonna paint only the flowers. I don't need remaining anything else. I'm gonna just paint these flowers here. that's there. Okay. Oh, yeah. So now the flowers are colorful. The image is like how I want it. But as you can see, there are like here as you can see, there are these few. I'm gonna just take my marquee tool. Okay. Or I'm going to take a lasso tool. Okay, so as you can see, these portion of the image, the selected portion, they are the leaves of those flower have turned green. I don't need it. I don't want them to be turned green. So how to do that? As I told you, black will show the layer that's beneath the applied layer, and white will hide that layer. So I'm gonna just take my brush tool again. I'm gonna decrease the size, and I'm gonna hit X so that my foreground color comes to white. Okay, foreground color is very important, because when you paint with the brush while using mask, it will paint the foreground color. It will consider the foreground color. Okay, so I'm gonna just go here. I'm gonna just zoom in a little bit here. I'm gonna just drag it here, and I'm gonna paint. Wait, I'm gonna select this layer. Make sure your mask and that layer is always selected, and I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna just paint white, and I'm gonna just paint my white here. As you can see here, what's happening, right? So the leaves that I don't want to be green, I'm turning them to be black again. What is it? Control minus. So you saw that, right? Okay, so what if I screw up by accidentally? I let's just say I made even this portion of that flower black. Oh shit, what now? If I had eraser tool, I cannot bring them back. But with mask, I can just hit X so that your foreground color is black now, and paint again. Now you see that entire image is grayscale, is black and white, but my flowers are colorful. Okay, so this is in very handy when you want a certain part of an image to be shining, like okay, let's just say that there is an image like a person standing in, and you have kept your shutter speed at 30 seconds, so it will capture the motion of the people that are moving at will, and you want the entire image to be black and white, but the person that is between, like who is standing there still, who is standing still there, you want him to be in colorful dresses, like the colorful, right? So you can do that. This is the benefit of layer mask. Well, it does not deletes the pixels, it hides the pixels, so that whenever you want them back, you can bring them back. Like that's what I have exactly done here. I have turned my original image, if you see, is this. You see this? This is my original image. The background is pink, the colors are green, and the flowers are pink and white, a little shade of yellow. But when I applied mask and turned the image into black and white, this is what my image has turned into. So, where this layer mask comes in handy? Well, in matte paintings, you see those amazing scenery which is impossible to be present in real world. That's where matte painting layer mask comes in handy, because let's just take a simple example. Let's just say that, okay, you want an volcano coming outside of Charminar. Okay, why you want it, that's up to you, that's your imagination, and it's not possible in real world, right? And even if it does happen, I don't think there will be someone with a DSLR and clicking that picture. That's not gonna happen. So how you can do it? Well, using layer mask. Bring an image of Charminar, bring the image of volcano. So rather than selecting that volcano and deleting all those hills or whatever the disturbing things that are in that image, you don't need, or whatever the part of an image that you don't need, rather than deleting them, you can hide them. So Charminar, you want, let's just say that there is a volcano flowing from inside of Charminar. You can keep the Charminar layer. First layer will be Charminar, second layer will be volcano. You're gonna apply the mask to the volcano layer, and you're gonna just paint. You're gonna just use the brush tool, change the color to black, and paint wherever you want that volcano popping out. As simple as that. Believe me, this is how phenomenally matte paintings are done. Like those unbelievable scenery you see on net, which is impossible to create, or which is impossible to be that they are present in the world, which is impossible. They are not there. You cannot see those kind of things in a real world, that's where matte paintings are done. That's how matte paintings are done. Matte paintings are done by using layer mask. Okay, so all those people who think, wait, this is real, no, that's not real. The scenes that you see an image in games, in Avatar movie for example, those scenery that they have created is impossible to create in real life, right? That's all matte painting. See, while masking in concept is very easy, it's very easy, believe me, it's very easy, but the actual art takes very considerable time and good education and practice to master that. But once you have practiced it, once you are like, oh, okay with it, like you can wake up in your at whenever you want in night and you can just do it, believe me, it's beautiful. Because today's movies, that's what they use. It has a huge market, especially in movies, because all those scenes that you see in movies, buildings, these games and stuff, those are all not real. They are created by using matte paintings. So in case you don't understand what matte painting is, just Google it, you will know what matte painting is. It's very simple, just it's not that of a difficult part. So I hope after watching this video, I hope you got a little bit idea of what masking is and what can it do. I didn't go very deeply because it's a very huge and very lengthy topic, but for starters and for starting in masking, this is very great. This is like more than enough for us. But you try it, you experiment with it, you're gonna do a lot of things with it. Select a part of an image, apply mask to it, see what happens, or take 2-3 images and try masking it, create matte painting, see what happens. You're gonna just master it, practice it over the time. It will come to you. It's very easy, it's not that difficult topic. Okay, so that's it for this video. I guess you guys have got an idea about what masking is and what it can do, hopefully. If you did, please like this video, and if you want someone to know what is masking and what is stuff and what, so share these videos to them, and subscribe to the channel because it's free. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one. I don't think it will be a tutorial, but if it is, it's great. Thank you so much.